Hey guys, what's the crack? So today I'm going to be reviewing the musical DreamGirls, which I saw on the West End 2 weeks ago. I saw the same day as I saw Everybody's Talking Jamie. I saw the same day as I saw Everybody's Talking About Jamie, which I've also reviewed. You can see that previously if you want to see that. I saw the matinee performance at 2:30. I got day seats that morning. As I said in one of my vlogs, the day seats thing, when I arrived at the theatre, there was a woman ahead of me who was looking for day seats, and she was looking for the evening performance, which I didn't know at the time, but I was listening to her conversation with the girl at the box office, and the girl in the box office was saying how there's no day seats left. Well, there was day seats left, but they were all single seats available. And I was going with my friend D, so I was like, oh crap, I'm not going to get to see the show. But then it turned out there actually was day seats available, like 2 seats together for the matinee performance, so it worked out perfectly. And the seats were £25 or £30? 25, I think. DreamGirls was actually a funny one for me. I had seen the movie in the past, and I knew a lot of the music from the show. And then when I was watching the show, I loved the beginning of the show, and then my kind of attention started to waver halfway through the first act, and I was starting to think, okay, I'm not going to enjoy this show. My attention was kind of going elsewhere, and I just wasn't enjoying it as much as I thought I would. But then it got to It's All Over, the second last number at the end of Act 1, and then from It's All Over to the end of the show, I was completely hooked. I was totally sold. And I remember turning to my friend D middle way through halfway through the interval, and I was like, D, like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this show. And she kind of didn't say much, and she was like, just wait. But by God, the second act, sold. When I was looking to see the show in the West End, I had looked into it, and I didn't realise that this show never had a West End run so far. I actually thought this was a revival of the West End production, but there actually was never a West End production. All we had was the Broadway production and the national tour. The West End production opened, I think it was almost a year ago, and it was led by Amber Riley, who was made famous because of Glee. The original Broadway production premiered in December 1981 at the Imperial Theatre, and it was produced and directed by Michael Bennett, who interestingly is known primarily because, well, he's known for many productions, but A Chorus Line was possibly his biggest hit, and it's one of the biggest productions to date. But when he had A Chorus Line running, that production ran for obviously several years, and then he started thinking, okay, I don't want to be known as for just A Chorus Line, so he delved and jumped into the project for DreamGirls, and that's where DreamGirls came from. This production, the London production premiere, is directed and choreographed by Casey Nicola, who I'm a huge fan of. He's currently got Mean Girls coming to Broadway, and I also saw him previously. I saw his work in Book of Mormon, and when I saw Tuck Everlasting, 2 productions, which I adored. As a choreographer, I think he's a beautiful choreographer, and as a director, it all works for me. I can't complain. The story is based on Effie White as she starts to maneuver her way through the music scene. She originally starts with a group, and then that group push her out so they can become more successful because they believe Effie is too lazy, etc, etc. A lot of people believe it's based on the Supremes, and there is a lot of similarities between the two, but the man who wrote the book has stated that he did not base it on the life of the Supremes, but he has acknowledged there are a lot of similarities. I saw the production, it was on a Friday matinee, and Karen Mav, it was an extra performance, an extra matinee that week, so Karen Mav was our Effie, and my God, that girl killed me. Her singing was incredible. My only quarrel, I guess, of sorts, was that I did feel like she looked slightly older than the rest of the cast, and I found it hard to believe at times that she was a younger woman. But I quickly forgot about that when she started singing. Just a quick note about her performance of, and I'm telling you, my God, that woman, do you know what? I felt like at times she could have actually almost sang it better. She could have sang more, but she kind of pulled herself back and acted more. And by God, the last moment of and I'm telling you, and she bangs her hand on the table, and she sings the last note. She threw her hand out. Oh my God, absolute. And I think I was watching her, and she actually was sweating. She was sweating. I remember she threw her hand out, and the sweat like jumped off her face. And I was there in my seat like, I'm dead. This girl, she killed me. I'm killed. Dina was played by, I hope I say her name correctly, Brina Lark, who had a beautiful voice, beautiful to look at, great at dancing. Had no problems with her whatsoever. Lorette was played by Asmerette, I hope I say her name right again, Gerber Michael. And she had nothing wrong with her. I thought she was fantastic. I could listen to her sing all day. Zero problems. I was happy to hear her sing. Jimmy was fantastic, and he was played by Tosh Winogo Mod. Completely encapsulated the role. Was very, very funny on stage, was completely given his total and all to that role and that performance, and really completely a star. My main experience with DreamGirls was the movie starring Beyonce Knowles and Jennifer Hudson. I didn't love the movie when I saw it, not gonna lie. I primarily was watching it, well, I was primarily listening to the music because the singing was phenomenal, but the original production was actually not quite different, but there was some differences between the original production and the movie. The song Listen, which is sung by Beyonce Knowles, I don't know why I'm saying Beyonce's if I have to say that, just Beyonce is enough, which was sung by Beyonce, was added to the national tour with, you know, they changed the lyrics for it to make it a duet between Laurel and Effie. And then when it came to the West End, they revised the lyrics again. Again, it was a duet between the two of them, but it totally fit into the show. The only thing I wish was the song that Jennifer Hudson sings, Love You I Do, I wish that had been added to the production, because that's a fantastic song, one that I would have loved to just have heard sung live, please. As I was saying, overall, the production I really enjoyed. I wasn't overly engaged until it's all over, almost at the end of Act 1. I really enjoyed the start of it, then my attention kind of wavered halfway through the Act 1, and I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to enjoy this production. Then it got to It's All Over, and then the entire second act. I do believe the second act is a lot stronger than the first act, which for me, generally, I feel like it's the other way around. Usually I prefer the first act to the second act. There's very few productions I've seen where I prefer the second act. But the second act for DreamGirls completely sold it to me. I was hooked the entire way throughout the second act, and I just did not want it to end. I also have to say that the set, while it was kind of simplistic, I don't think it's fair to say it was simplistic, but it wasn't overly exuberant. But then there was some gorgeous moments in the show. I remember at the very end of the show where all these, like, I guess they were diamonds or crystals or bees came down, but as they came down as a curtain, and then as they were going back up, they kind of created an arch on stage. It was beautiful to watch. When I saw the show a few weeks ago, the house was totally sold out. And I remember when I was speaking to someone on the box office, she was saying that the show was doing very, very well at the moment. So it is still doing very well in the West End, with Amber Riley, and she's already left production, which is great to see. It's always nice to see a show where that starts with a star or stunt. It's not even fair to say stunt casting, because Amber Riley is a fantastic singer, but it starts off with a celebrity as the main role to bring people into the show, and then when they leave, it's always nice to see the show can keep going without their star. There are rumours circulating about a Broadway transfer or Broadway revival with Amber Riley, but Casey Nichola's currently very busy with Mean Girls, so I don't know if that's going to happen this season. But would I put my money on DreamGirls coming back to Broadway in the next year or two? Yeah, I kind of would. Yeah, I would. Again, I really enjoyed this production. I'd totally go see it again. Probably won't be seeing it in the West End, because I won't be going back to London for another few months. But I definitely would recommend you go see this production. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm going to throw out more reviews as I get time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification up the bottom, as I point up the top, so you can keep up to date with my videos. And I'll see you guys next time.